Hey guys, so you're missing some papers. All right. One of the problems with the whole scheduling is it's tough to think that far in advance to get them to you. Um, so you have an attachment in your email that's going to go through the papers that you're using today. If you want to print them off and write on them, that's fine. If you just want to use a separate sheet of paper to write things down on, that's fine as well too. Um, the main thing is that you're doing it, not necessarily where you are doing it. All right, so just kind of keep that in mind. So I'm going to bring up that particular document here for you, so this way we're kind of working off the exact same things. And it starts off by looking like this. So this here, all right, this is your notes, all right, and the notes are labeled as um, we're in unit 3, all right, and it's called 3-point expressions. So keep that in mind as you're looking at your note packet there and you're looking through the videos. It's not a number on it because it's kind of like it's something that we do before that's kind of leading into the unit 3. So we call it 3-point expressions. Maybe I should have called it 3.0. Okay, looking back, that would have made some sense there, but 3-point expressions. So that's the notes that you're going to do. So make sure you get your notes taken care of. What you're going to end up seeing in here are our whole expressions, are words, um, and so we're translating them into an expression. So that's what you got going on in your notes here. You've got lesson 3 that's there because that's something that we do need to take care of for tomorrow. So when we do see you in class, we will be talking about lesson number 3. All right. And I know we're going out of order. I get it. Trust me on it. All right. So lesson 3 video, that's something that needs to get taken care of. What we're getting ourselves into is, oh, here's your classwork for today. All right. So for a lot of you, this would probably be the second thing that you're going to do. So you're going to watch your notes in there, and I've got it listed on the homework website for you. This is your writing of your expressions. It's just the one paper that we've got there. And then this is your entrance slips. So you should have watched the math video first on the notes. All right, 3-point expression. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the entrance slip here right now with you, and then you can go into your classwork and then take care of the lesson 3 notes. All right, so pause if you need to. Come on back to this as necessary, but let's jump into it. Expressions here. So an expression is kind of like a math problem without an equal sign. It typically has 3 parts to it. It has a number. I know in math that we've got numbers. It's got some sort of operation. Okay, so add, subtract, multiply, divide. And then it has some sort of variable, and your variable are your letters. So we don't know what the number is, so we use a letter to represent the variable because it changes there. So we're kind of writing down what we would end up doing. So this is saying the sum of x and 2. And we want to realize about that word sum is sum does mean to add. It typically means that parentheses are going to show up, but since there's nothing else going on here, there's no need for it. So again, we really want to realize that it means addition, but that next level is yeah, hey, you need to add those together, so we're going to use those parentheses. Less than here, all right, less than does mean to subtract, okay, but it's one of those phrases where order makes a difference because it's subtraction, and with less than, all right, it does require us to flip the orders, so it's really y minus 4. So again, 4 less than y means you're actually starting at y and then you're taking away 4. And then for 3 here, d times 4 decreased by 2. Okay, so remember times, all right, multiplication, but remember how we write out multiplication with your variables, all right, or your letters, if you will. When we multiply a number and a letter, it's always the number first and letter second. So we write out 4D. We don't use the dot for multiplication. We multiply numbers and letters, again, right up against each other. And then decrease by 2. So then we're going to subtract 2 with it. What you're going to find with the class work is that, like a lot of things, when we start getting involved with the writing and the words, it's open to interpretation. Try not to put pauses where there are not pauses. Your commas are there, so do keep that in mind. But I will be sending you a copy of the answer sheet of what we've got going on. The classwork. Oops. Oh, wait, there's more. Sorry. Let's do this and I'll get back into that classwork that's there. Here we go. The quantity of A plus B divided by 7. Oh, look, the parentheses, just like I talked about. Okay, so the quantity. Quantity is one of those words that means that we're going to have to use parentheses. So we can say the quantity of A plus B, which would be the exact same thing as saying the sum of A and B. Sum means to add and to use parentheses. So again, vocabulary here. So A plus B, all right, and then we're going to divide it by 7. So fraction bar is what we need. Now, the thing to keep in mind here is with a fraction bar, they already have built-in parentheses. So technically, that would have been okay. Because again, fractions come in with built-in parentheses. This is the exact same thing as what we got going on here. So we do want to keep that in mind. All right, and then here 3 times the difference of a number and 8. So a number, we don't know what that number is, so we get to call it whatever we want. That's your variable, so call it X, call it Y, call it J, if that's your favorite letter. Yeah, typically X and Y are the most popular ones. Z's make a strong appearance. That's in there. But yeah, so you're going to see the X's for the most part there. So 3 times the difference of a number. 3 times the difference. Okay, so difference here does mean to subtract, but it's also one of our words that means answer to a subtraction problem, which is why it's those parentheses are involved. So it's 3, and then we're going to need parentheses. A number, I'm going to call it Y, all right, and 8. So if we look at this, we're going to multiply. So I'm up against the parentheses. I needed parentheses because of that word difference, the answer to, which means, hey, get the answer to the subtraction problem first, then multiply by 8. So that's why I need my parentheses right there. All right. If we go into your classwork gets into labeling these parts here about constants, coefficients, and terms. We're going to go through some of this right now. Constant is just a plain old number. All right. It's just the number that's in there. So for example, here we go, a positive 5. That's a constant that's there. All right. If we go through question 15, I see an 8. Right? And then, oh, look at that. That's a negative 8. So those guys are constants. Coefficients. Coefficient is the, you can think of it as visually, it's the number in front, all right, of a letter. All right, so that's what it looks like. Pretty much it's what you're multiplying by. What are you multiplying a letter by? So in this particular case, I can see I have a coefficient of 2. All right, and I got a coefficient of negative 4. All right, if we look at the tab below it here, there it is in front of the letter, a negative 3. So there's my coefficient. And then terms. Terms is just each person. Okay? It's all the parts that go into making an expression. So for example, 2x. All right, 5 is a term. Negative 4x. That is a term that we're looking at. We've got 8. All right, we've got negative 3y. And then we've got a negative 8. So you might like, isn't it just kind of like the math problem? Like all the, yeah, it is each individual thing that you're dealing with. Obviously, we're going to have you try the next 2 that go along. All right, but yeah, there's your classwork here. The one that we do want to look at here is, I thought there was one that looked like the exact same. Yeah, all right, never mind. Oh, there it is, 5 and 7. I knew it was somewhere. All right, the product of 5 and a number increased by 3. So the product of 5, all right, and so and is that's a key part there. So this separates the 2 things we're going to multiply by because of that word product, and separates the 2 things. So we're going to this and a number increased by 3. So we're going to multiply 5 times a number increased by 3. Again, this is a package deal here. All right. And again, sometimes people do 5x plus 3. I get it. Like I said, sometimes they are open to interpretation, just like when someone says something like, oh, really? I didn't know that. If they use some strong sarcasm, it kind of makes it sound like, oh, you did know it. Okay, all right. So there's the frustration, and I get it there. But now look at the comment here, the product of 5 and a number. So that tells me, hey, you're going to multiply. There's my and. If you look to the left, see how there's the comma there? It makes you stop, makes you pause. So because of that, that would be our 5x, and then our increase by 3. So again, open to interpretation. We definitely talk about some of them here when we see you guys in class. Okay, so I know there's a lot there, but without your packets, I wanted to make sure we kind of went through everything there, just so that you kind of have it. As I rotate my paper here sideways, yes. Uh, yeah, there's your classwork. There's your lesson 3 notes to take care of as I get to it, because it's going to say up there, lesson 3. And then, yeah, there's your lesson verbal expressions. That's there. All right, people, if you got questions, email me, check in with me, office hours, all those good things. Thanks. Bye.